Hey guys. So today I'm going to be doing another project. This is going to be a web scrape project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to web scrape the prices and the names of products listed on the Morrison's website. So Morrison's is a UK supermarket. Now, first things first, before I begin the project, we're going to create our file. So I'm using PyCharm, and the reason is because I'm a actual IDE, and I can do debugging, which is a feature that's not really good in Atom. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to right click, create a new Python file, and we're going to call it, let's just call it Morrison's Webscrape project.py. Oh, it's a Python file, so Morrison's Webscrape project. Cool. And then we need to install a few dependencies. So click on the Windows key and R if you have Windows. And then type in the command prompt, CMD. Okay. So now what we need to install is Beautiful Soup. So pip install beautiful soup. Sorry, wait, is it already there? Did I spell? Beautiful Soup 4, sorry, so Beautiful Soup 4. Apologies. Beautiful Soup 4. And I already have it installed, so that's fine for me. And then another one is pandas, if you don't have that. So pip install pandas. And that will install it into your PC, but I have it already, so that's why my message looks different from yours. So cool, once that's been done, we are then going to import what we need. So we're going to import SQLite 3. We're going to import Beautiful Soup. So from BS4, import Beautiful Soup. Import, and we're also going to import, you're going to use requests for our URL. So import requests as RE and import pandas as PD. So the link we're going to use in question is the following on Edge. So we're going to be using this link. I'll post it in the description, and I'll also have the code in the description as well. So this is Morrison's. As you can see, they've got their products. Now, in order to use Beautiful Soup, you have to understand the HTML syntax. So we're going to inspect. And then what we're going to do from inspecting, we can look into the tags, and we can get the names of the classes and elements of these tags. So for example, we know that if we click on this, we can see that each item is in a content wrapper class here. So we know that each box that a product is in a content wrapper. And then inside that content wrapper is all the other information we need. So information such as the title, the price is also in there. And what else would we need? We'd also need the URL. And as we can see, we have the href here for that product. And if we hover over it, we can see the full URL below. So all it is this href and the groceries.morrisons.com at the front of it. Okay, so that's all we need to know for now. And then one more thing to note, which we'll find out later on in the project, is we have to bear in mind that prices may be on offer. So if a price is on offer, it's going to have the class FOP price.price offer. If it's not, it's just going to have FOP price. And it's going to have either one or the other. So we need to bear that in mind. Okay, cool. So I'm going to close this. I'm then going to minimize and, well, I'm going to go back to our PyCharm. And then I'm going to use an object-oriented programming approach to this. So it might seem a bit more complicated, but the code's a lot more reusable taking this method. Okay, so how we're going to start, I remember I'm using like a secondary screen. I know I always say it, but it's just to let you know that I'm using my phone in case there's awkward pauses. So first things first, we're going to do if name equals main. Then we're going to run this main function. So practically what this means is if you're running this specific file, then run the code that's within it, within this like statement here, if it's the main file that you're actually running from. And then what we're going to do, we're going to create a class, a function called main. So if you start up like a C# or a Java like project, this is like the first thing you'll see. You'll see like the main method where everything runs out of. So this is like similar to that. And what we're going to do here for now, we're just going to put pass in place. Okay. So now what we're going to do first is we're going to create a Morrison's product. And this is basically going to represent the product on the web page with the information that we want. So I'll show you how to do that. So what we do is we create a class, Morrison's product, and then inherits from object, def underscore underscore init underscore underscore. So we're going to, this is how we're going to initialize the object. So self name, the URL, the product's URL, the price, and the rating of the product. Right. And then self.name equals name, self.url equals the URL, self.price equals the price, self.rating equals the rating. And what we're also going to do, we're going to do the wrapper. So this is for, this will help with like debugging purposes or if you're printing the object. And then what this is going to return is an F string. And the F string here, the F you see at the front, that's string interpolation. So it allows me to pass in a variable into the string directly. So product and self.name. So when you print the product, the object, the product object, you're going to get the name. You're going to get product and the name. Okay. I'm also going to do just a few more things in advance. So we're going to be saving this into a set in particular. So we also need an equality check and a hash. So how we do that is def underscore underscore eq underscore underscore self and the other object we're going to be comparing this to. So now what we're going to return is if is instance bracket other. So if the other object is the same type as self, this object we're looking at, then we're also going to do and if the self.name and self.url is equal to another tuple other.name and other.url, then what it's going to return is if all of this is true. So let me just make sure I've done that right. Yeah. So if this condition is true, then it means that the two objects are equal. So they could have different prices and ratings, which you're not too concerned about, but it's mainly the name and the URL. So if they have the same name and URL, that's classed as them being the same product. Then another one we're going to do is the hash. So this is for us when we put in the set, so that we don't have any duplicates. Without these two, if we add items to a set, even if they're exactly the same, the objects, they're just still going to be kept getting added into the set. So what we're going to do, return hash self.name and self.url. Okay, so this is basically our Morrison's product. Next is we're going to create the actual, like a web page object now. This is pretty much the meat of the project here. So class Morrison's, let's call it Morrison's web page. Okay, inherit from object. And this inherit from object, it's just like, you don't necessarily need to do this, but I just do, it's just, it's like a convention. And all we're going to do, we're going to take in the URL. Okay. And now, so that's to initialize the object. And now what we're going to do, so we're going to do a bit of this. So self.url is equal to the URL that we provided. Now we're going to have a page element underscore page underscore element equals, we're going to set that equal to none. I'm going to explain what this is in a moment. And self dot products equal to a set. So we're going to store all of our products into a set. Okay. So now let's go down a bit further. Just bear with me. So now we need to find a, I'll show you something, content wrapper. So if we go back to inspect, so I'm just trying to find that content wrapper. Sorry, just bear with me. I'm just trying to get the content wrapper. All these objects are stored, all these products. Let's just look here and go up. Yeah, apologies, guys. Where is it? Main content. Apologies, I can't actually find it, but I've checked earlier, and all of these products, they're stored in a content wrapper. It's a div called content wrapper, but I can't actually find it here, which is crazy. Yeah, apologies for that, but I guess just to save time, let's just go back to our PyCharm. So that's basically what the page element is going to be. So that's going to contain the tag, the div tag, and inside that div tag is going to be all of the products. So we're going to create a private method. This is a method that's only going to run within the class. It's not for like outside use. So we're going to do create underscore soup underscore element self. It's going to refer to self. Okay, and then page is equal to re.get self dot underscore URL. And then page underscore text equals page.text. So this is going to get the URL. It's going to get the text from the URL. And then what we're going to do, soup equals beautiful soup, the page text, and we're going to use a HTML parser for it. And this is going to create the soup object, the beautiful soup object. And then what we're going to do, so in those elements equals soup.find underscore all. We're going to look for the div tag, and the class on this div tag is going to be called FOP content wrapper. Then self dot underscore page underscore element. So this here, we're going to set this equal to elements, the elements that we find here. Okay, and then it's a void method, so it's going to return, it's not going to return anything. Okay. So now next we need a way to create a product. And how we're going to do that is, the idea is we're going to populate this page element. So it's going to have all the, well, the products that we need. So we're going to create another private method called create underscore product. It's going to take from self, and it's going to be passing a product parameter. So what we're going to have now is title is equal to the product. So the product is going to be like, this is going to be a list of elements, but the product is the, the product is the, the product, yeah, is the product in question. This product is going to have a h4 tag, and it's going to be the title from that tag. So let me just see if I can find it. If I can just get a random one, title. Here. Sorry, and here's the content wrapper. Each of the products they're wrapped in the content, as you can see. So I actually found it, and we're going to find all of these. So it's going to actually be a list of all of these. And then, as you can see, this is where we're going to get the URL from, and the title class FOP title, and here's the title: XML strawberry and blueberry. So product.h4 title, and then the link, as I showed you, so it's going to be equal to https://groceries.morrisons.com plus, because all of it's always going to have that, plus the URL that we saw, that I mentioned at the beginning. So the product dot the A tag and the href for that A tag. Yep. And then we're going to have the price, and we're going to create, well, we're going to create two more methods, but I'm going to create them in a moment. So the first one is underscore pass underscore price. So what this basically means is we're going to look through the product and get the price in the format that we want it. And I'm going to create this method here, this pass price, in a moment. And then the other one is called rating. And we need to do the same thing with the rating because it's not in the format that I would like it in. So pass underscore rating product. And the product is equal to Morrison's product. So this product we created earlier up here, this class, we're going to create objects from it. So Morrison's product, and the title as the name, link as the URL, price as the price, and rating as the rating. Cool. And then once we've done that, we just simply return the product. Okay. So now we're going to create the pass price and the pass rating private, that's hence the underscore at the front, private methods. So def underscore pass underscore price self and the product. Okay. So remember at the beginning I mentioned if it has an offer price, it won't have a normal price, and if it has a normal price, it won't have an offer price because it's not an offer. So what we're going to do, offer price is equal to product dot find. It's going to be a span class we're going to look for, span tag, sorry, and the class of this tag is going to be equal to FOP hyphen price. FOP hyphen price hyphen offer, and the normal underscore price is going to be equal to product dot find. So if it doesn't find anything for either of these two variables, it's just going to return none. The class for this is going to be equal to FOP hyphen price. And just to illustrate that here in the elements, if we click on here, as you can see, that's the span class, FOP price. Okay, so let's go back to PyCharm. And what we're going to set, we're going to have another variable. We're going to call it product price, product underscore price, and we're going to set this equal to none. Now we're going to do a few checks. So now if offer underscore price is not none. So that means if we have an offer price, if the product's on offer, then the product underscore price is going to be equal to offer price dot string. And the string is basically going to get what's within the tags. So the £2 here that you can see. Okay. If it is none, so if there's no offer price found, then we're also going to have a check. So else if normal underscore price is not none, then product underscore price is equal to normal underscore price dot string. Else, we're just going to return none. Yeah. So if like either the price I found, that means there's no price as far as like we're concerned. So we're just going to return none. So now we're going to do another check. So if there's a P in the product price, that means the product's price in pence. So what we need to do is product underscore price underscore pence is equal to product underscore price dot replace P with empty string. So we're going to remove the P from the price. So if it's 60p, it's just going to be the number 60. And then what we're going to do, we're going to return the float of product underscore price underscore pence. So we're going to change it to a float, and we're going to divide it by 100. So that represents 0.6 pounds. You know, so it's basic conversion into pounds. And then next, else, we're going to return a float. So if it's not the case, it doesn't have a P, that means it has a pound inside it. So what we're going to do, we're going to return a float of the product price, and we're basically going to ignore the pound. So we're going to slice it. We're going to slice the pound off. So we're going to start from the first index rather than 0, where the pound would be. And that's how we get the pound. And then remember, we're converting this to a float, so a float's going to be returned back. So that's how we're going to pass through our prices. And the other one is now the rating. So underscore pass underscore rating. Now with this, pass rating, self, and product. So again, what we're going to do here is a bit different. So rating equals product dot find span, and sorry, the class is going to be equal to FOP hyphen rating hyphen inner. Then the product underscore rating is going to be equal to none. Okay, and then let me just show you the rating. Here's the ratings. The reviews, 3.6 out of 5. What we want is the 3.6. And if we go back, the 3.6, we can see it's on the 8th index. So 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it starts at 8, and it's going to end at the 13th index. Well, 13th minus 1, so the 12th. So what we do here is we're going to slice through that. So if the rating is not none, so basically what it's saying is if the product has a rating, if it's not none, it means it has a rating, the product underscore rating is going to be equal to the float of the rating, so that the title, which is that string I just showed you, and we're going to slice it. So we're going to get the 18th and the 13th, not inclusive index. Then we're going to return the product rating. And then next is the last one is to extract the products. So this page element, right? I'm just going to come back. So this is what I was trying to explain earlier, but it was bad. So this page element here, this content wrapper, because I'm using find all, it's going to look through all the divs that have this class FOP content wrapper, and it's going to return a list of all of those elements. So effectively, it's going to return a list of all of these boxes, here, because all of these are content wrappers. So all of this, each box for everything on this page. And then all of our elements that we need to get are inside that. So now we need to get the products for each of those, because it's a list. We need to like iterate through that list. So now extract underscore products self. So I keep doing that. Not to use the PyCharm, I usually use atom a lot. So for element in self dot underscore page underscore element, the product is going to be equal to self dot underscore create underscore product element. So for each element, so for each content wrapper, we're going to pass the content wrapper into the create product. And that's going to create our product. And our product is this object. So it's going to create a Morrison's product object. Okay. And then self.products.add, and we're going to add the product into that set that we have here. So we're going to add it into this set. And then we're going to return none. So this is void. It's a void method. Okay. Just double check. Okay, cool. And then now there's just one more thing. So we want to return, well, two more things actually. So now we want to return a list of, instead of a set, we want to return a list of the products, because if we're using this a lot, lists are a lot faster to iterate through than a set. Sets are faster to look up into. So return list self.products. So we're just going to return a list of products if this function's run. So yeah, okay. So that is almost it. Now we also have to do one more thing. Upon our constructor, we're going to basically construct this object. So how we're going to do that? Let's go back to our web page. So if this is not in the string, then we're just going to say that the string's invalid if it's not in the URL. So if the URL doesn't contain this, not in URL, then we're going to write the message to the user. URL must contain Morrison's, this. And then what we're going to do, we're going to erase an attribute error. And then we're going to put the message inside. So that's going to erase a message. Now, otherwise, what we're going to do, self.underscore create soup element. So we're going to create the soup element from the URL. So we're going to get the URL, we're going to create the element, and then the underscore extract products. So then we're going to extract the products from that URL. Okay, and then now that should work if I haven't done any mistakes. And now we're going to go back to our main method. So this is where everything's going to run out of. And what we're going to do now, so we're going to have our URL is equal to the URL of the website. Sorry, URL. And let's do a page. So the page is going to be equal to Morrison's web page, and we're going to pass in this URL. Okay. And then the page underscore products is equal to page dot get underscore products. Okay, and then let's debug. This just to see if it works. So I've set a breakpoint at the pass, so it should stop here. Okay, and what happened here? has no attribute underscore URL. Apologies. So this should be underscore URL, because it's private. So stop. No, stop share. Let me just run this again. Stop and rerun. So the bug is just how we'd catch any bugs that we find in our thing. Okay, so everything's ran. So now this is what I like about using a IDE rather than a text editor. We can open, and as we can see, we have all of our products here with all the objects we have created. And then we can see the name, the price, the rating, and the URL inside each of these products. So this is pretty much the beauty of like object-oriented programming. You can see the name, price, rating, URL, and they're in what we want. So string, float, and string, you know? Okay, cool. And as you can see, there's a list of 50. So we've got 50 from the web page. So then now I will show you as well how we can, like, through object-oriented programming, we can sorry, let me just stop this. For object-oriented programming, how we can like reuse these objects. So I'll show you how we can do like two things with these objects. So the first one, we're going to create a database. So that's why we had we imported SQLite earlier. So what we're going to do, we're going to start our connection is equal to SQLite 3 dot connect Morrison. We're going to call it Morrison products.db. We're going to create a cursor object, so con.cursor. We're going to execute this command. So c.execute. Now bear with me. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So create table if not exists. So we're going to create a table in this database, Morrison's products. Products. Yeah. So create table if not exists. Then what we're going to do, we're going to create this table. So we're going to have a parentheses, and then we're going to create it. So ID is equal to integer, and it's a primary key. So this will make it auto increment as well. Then the name is variable character, and the size of 250. We're going to make it not null. So you need a name to store it into the database, and you need the URL as well. So I'm going to do the same thing, var char 250 not null. Sorry, there should be a comma here, and then another comma here, and then the price, we're going to make that a real, so it has decimals, and then the rating, not that it matters for SQLite, and then the rating is real. So one more thing, our bracket disappeared, our close parentheses. So we're going to put a close parentheses here, and that's the command we're going to execute. So this will create a database in this project file. Okay, if the database doesn't, well, it's going to create a database first here, and if the database doesn't already exist, it's going to create a table if the table doesn't exist in that database. And then what we're going to do, we're going to iterate through our objects here. So now, for product in page underscore products, we're going to print a message. We're going to put a string and insert in brackets products, sorry, and then dot dot dot. So that's just going to send a message to the terminal that, you know, we're inserting this product. And then c.execute. And one more thing, never use like f strings into a execute command, because then that'll make your application vulnerable to SQL injection. So SQLite, it comes with its own like parentheses you can use, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So insert into products. So insert into the products table the values, brackets, So we're going to set into the table these values. Null is for the ID because it's going to generate by itself. The name, it's basically everything we've listed here. The name, the URL, the price, and the rating. Cool. And once that's done, we're going to use the vars and the product. So what this is going to do, because this another parameter is to use a dictionary. So what vars is going to do is going to turn our object into a dictionary with like the name, the URL, and the price and the rating. And when we pass that dictionary into here, the execute command, it will be mapped to each of these like columns in our table. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to commit those changes. So connection.commit, and then close the cursor, c.close, and then close the connection. Cool, we're going to save that. Okay, and what we're going to do, I'm then going to run this. So if everything's fine, this should work. Let's see. Okay, cool. So it's saying certain products, you know, it's giving us our message. It's inserting all these products into the database. It's now to get the database. Let's see. I think it was random scripts I had it in. So random scripts. Morrison's webscrape project, and here's our database. So I used let me just find the name of this. I think it's called DB browser. Yeah, DB browser for SQLite. So this enables you to view what's in the file. And if we check browse data, we can see all of our data here. So all of our data, the ID, the name, the URL, the price, and the rating. And you can do like various SQL commands. So if we want to get all the ratings, so select star from products where the let's say the rating is greater than 3. See, and then here's all the products where the rating is greater than 3. Or you can do where the price is equal. Sorry, let's do less than 3. And all the products with the price is less than 3. Okay, and then you can get the average and all other stuff that comes with SQL. Okay, and then lastly now, if I go back to my project, I'm just going to do one more thing. So we're going to comment this out. So just to show you, we can reuse the same object, and we can also create like a pandas data frame or like a CSV. So df is equal to pd.dataframe. Now we're going to use it's a bit of a complex technique, but this is called the name for this is list comprehension. So it's a way of doing a for loop and generating a list inside like one line. So vars product. So get a dictionary of each product. For product in page underscore products. So similar to this is for loop, as you can see, for product in page products. But we're entering the command that we're going to do. So vars product for product in page products. Yeah, and it's going to put that into a list. And it's actually faster than doing the for loop. Okay, and then it's going to create through pandas, this parameter is going to create a data frame of this object of this command. Comprehension. And then we can do df.to underscore CSV. And let's just call it Morrison's.csv. Save that. Let's run it. And then we should have a CSV file up here, if that's all correct. So Morrison's CSV. Let's open it. And as you can see, our CSV. So we can close that. And that is pretty much it for the project. So yeah, everything runs out of this like main function. And yeah, you know, you have your URL. I haven't tested it with other Morrison's URL, but I'm sure it should work. Now, the thing with using like web scraping is that over time, as you know, websites change. So the names of like these classes may change, and then that would make this, then you'd have to, you know, keep updating it and maintaining it. So things like this, because websites are updating fairly quickly, it can become old quite quickly. Another thing to note is some websites, they also use JavaScript to load the page. So what that means is that when you first enter the page, JavaScript runs, a script runs, and it updates everything you see on that page. If that happens, you have to use a module called Celium. And basically what that'll do is it will mock you logging onto the website, opening the web page. It's like it will open the web page for you. And then after you do that, then you can do the beautiful soup on the page to get those like tags and everything that comes after the JavaScript. And that's pretty much another video in itself. And then yeah, so you know, I'm pretty much done here. Everything. Yeah, I mean, I've got this. I can debug a bit more. Let's see. We can step through. It's got 50 products. I mean, I can just quickly show you how this here works to create product. So if I debug, the breakpoint is going to be set here. Okay, and then what you can do with the debugger, so we're going to step into this code, this method. So see, it's the Morrison's object. So that's the object we're looking at. And the page element, see? So this is what the page element looks like. It's a beautiful soup object, but it hasn't loaded. Yeah, here it is, it's loaded. See, so as you can see, the source is going to take the FOP content wrapper, and because it's like I used find all, it's going to be all of those elements. And as you can see, we can get our data from this. And it's like it goes very deep. Okay. And then if we step into the next part, so we're looking at this element, and we're going to create a product, so we can step into the product and step over. See, so it gets the title, gets the link, and then yeah, we can step into the price. Sorry, let's step out, step over. See, so there's no offer price, but there is a price, and the price is £1. Okay, so we're going to set that equal to none. If offer price is none, skip over that. If the normal price is not none, which it isn't none, it's this, we're going to get the string. So the inside here, the £. Yeah. Then there's no P in the price, and then what we're going to do, we're going to slice it. And that's what we're going to return. So then we get the 1. Then same thing for the rating. If we step into that, we get the rating, as you can see. And here's the title for that rating. If the rating is not none, which it isn't, we're going to slice it. And then we're going to return product rating. And as we can see, product rating here is 5. Okay, step over. And then, yep, step over this. Then we're going to like create basically our object. Morrison's product. As you can see, here's our product with the information that we want. And it's going to return that product. And then it's going to add that product to the set. And it's going to do that for everything. So we can step out of that, step over, and then page.get products. See here? And it's just going to turn that into a list, the self.products. So if we look at self and products, it's a set of all the products. And that's pretty much it. So debugging is very useful and it's something you should learn. Okay, and that is pretty much it. Yeah, any questions in the description, and I'll create another GitHub gist of this, just so you can copy and paste the code and try it for yourself and demo it for yourself. But that's all for now. Take care, guys.